What's going on, y'all? Today on my chopping block, I've got the Philips air fryer. This is hot or not with fitmencook. Boom! A couple weeks ago, I asked you all to request a product that you all wanted me to review. You all said the air fryer. As part of my ongoing relationship with my friends from Kohl's, I hit them up and I said, I want to do a review on an air fryer. What you got? So they sent me the latest and greatest, the Philips air fryer. If you're not familiar, one of the trends in the healthy food space right now is to air fry the food. Essentially, this is rapid air technology, whereby you put food here into the bin and the air around it is so hot and it's moving around that it simulates it being fried. It claims to reduce the amount of fat in recipes by about 75%, which is great if you are a huge fan of fried foods. There are a few air fryers out there, but I wanted to get this one into the fitmencook kitchen to see if it really did live up to its claims. And at about $175 per machine, yeah, I really want to make sure that it is worth every penny. Here's a quick product tour. This is the machine right here. It comes in a box and everything is already assembled because there's essentially only 3 parts. You've got this bin part, which comes right on out. This is the bin where you place all the food. And then if you press this button right here on the top, this is the basket. So put all your food inside of this basket and then pop it in place and then insert it right in here. And then voila, it is supposed to air fry your food. I'll be judging and rating the air fryer on 3 criteria. The first one is quality. Is the finished product as good as they market it to be? Does it really give you restaurant style fried foods? Secondly, I'll be judging this on ease of use. Is it practical? To get to that end product, do we have to do 15 different steps beforehand? Or is it just you chop everything up and you put it in here and you're good to go? And lastly, I got my own rating, and that is the fitmencook boom factor. This considers the price, the practicality of it, the product design, the creativity of recipes that this device can actually inspire as well. So everything is going to be considered. To make this a very fair evaluation, I'm going to use a recipe that they provided in their book. So today we're going to be making their crispy potato skin wedges. So I have followed the directions to prep the potatoes, but what I also thought would be helpful is that at the same time these are being cooked in the air fryer, that we would also bake some in the oven as we normally would, so we can kind of see the difference between having it air fried versus it being baked in the oven. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fire this up because I've got to preheat this. So when I turn it to any one of the timers, it just immediately comes on, which leads me to believe that it's really easy to heat up. Per their instructions, what I've done was I first had to boil the potatoes for about 20-30 minutes until they were tender and could be pierced with a fork. After that, I drained them and then put them in the fridge in order to completely cool down, and then I sliced them into wedges. Now the recipe calls for about 2 tablespoons of canola oil for 6 large potatoes. I'm not using that many. First off, I'm using red potatoes, and I don't have canola oil here, but I do have almond oil. Almond oil has a very high cook point as well that can be used for frying, so we're gonna use that. I'm going to add a pinch of sea salt and a pinch of pepper. I'm gonna stir this up. Open this up. Because the instructions said do not add any liquid, I'm going to just place these in here very carefully, so that way I won't get any of the oil that's here at the bottom of this bowl. For this recipe, it also says to place the potatoes wedges with the skin down, so I'm gonna manually do that. So here's what they look like. Now, I'm gonna place this in here. I'm gonna set the timer to 15 minutes as per the instructions, and we're gonna let this cook. Now, while this is cooking, I'm gonna prep the potatoes the way that we normally would. So I've got some raw potatoes here. I've also put some almond oil on them and a little bit of sea salt and pepper. And now I'm gonna spread them on this baking sheet. I'm gonna bake these in the oven for about 20-25 minutes at 420. All right, so I'm gonna take this out now and let's see. Whoa. Well, the first impression, it looks great. First off, look at that. Holy smokes, that looks pretty good. Ooh. They even sound like real fries. And put them right in here. These are right out from the air fryer. The back part of it is actually pretty crispy. And here are the ones from the oven. The outside is hard, but it's not as crispy as the other one, as these air fried ones. So now let's do a quick taste test. I'm gonna test the ones from, this is the air fryer. It's got a great texture. I think that cooking it beforehand really helped out the middle of it to be really soft. But it's still very firm. The outside is crispy. It is really flaky, which is what you want from a crispy fried potato wedge. Now, let's go with the ones that are baked in the oven. There's a little bit of crispiness on the outside of it, but the crispiness is definitely here on the air fried potatoes. There is a noticeable difference in the taste and the texture. On the air fried ones, I think that it's creamier because we had to boil them first to cook the potato, and then we let it cool, and then we put it in here to fry. So I think that's why it's much creamier. It's much softer, but the outside is very firm. It's very flaky. So let's run down the 3 criteria. In terms of quality, thumbs up for quality. These are restaurant style potato wedges that you would be proud to put in front of your guests. Ease of use, I would say yes and no. I bake my potatoes in the oven for about 20-25 minutes or so, but to prep the potatoes according to the recipe that they provided, I first had to boil the potatoes, which is about 20-25 minutes, and then let them cool in the fridge, which is another 30 minutes for them to cool down completely, then slice them up and then season them up the way that I would. So that's almost an hour's worth of prep just to have some potatoes. Was it worth it in the very end? Absolutely. I really love the crispiness of it. I love the look of it. So for ease of use, I give it a sideways thumb. Not every recipe that you use with the air fryer is going to be the exact same, so I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. Now for the fitmencook boom factor, I wasn't too thrilled about the $175 price tag. Now there are cheaper ones out there, but again, the Philips one is one of the best out there on the market. In terms of making that investment, I would consider a couple things. Do you already do calorie conscious cooking? If the answer is yes, then this may be one of those wonderful wish listings that you put on your Christmas list that you can wait around to get. If you are trying to get into calorie conscious cooking and you're trying to save on some calories and you're new to it and you love fried foods, well then this may be a great investment for you, especially if you have a growing family. In terms of practicality, this is a hot air technology cooker. So it's called an air fryer, but it's almost kind of like a convection oven, so you can bake things in here as well. So I do think that it is very practical in terms of having a lot of different uses. In terms of creativity, there are a ton of things that you can do with this, and I like the fact that with this they also provided a recipe book with a lot of cool recipe ideas to get your mind thinking about ways that you can have calorie conscious meals, but in a very delicious faux fried way. The product design, yes, it's designed beautifully. It looks great, it's pretty sexy, but it is not a counter space saver, so keep that in mind. So for the fitmencook boom factor, I do give it a thumbs up and 1 fitmencook flex. Just a 1-arm flex though, not 2 arms, 1 arm, because of the price tag. Comment below if you purchased an air fryer, and I want you to share your favorite recipe and just your overall experience. I want to thank my friends over at Kohl's for allowing me to do a review of the Philips air fryer. Be sure to check the description box below for the purchase now link if you like what you saw, and remember to tweet me, email me, Instagram me, Facebook me, whatever. Just get at me and let me know the new technology that you want me to review, and I head over to Kohl's and go grab it, and we will put it on the fitmencook chopping block. All right, y'all, until next time, keep it healthy, but of course, never ever boring. Boom!